Okay, so welcome everyone once again to Gumlet's webinar on how to protect your video. Um, Today we'll cover what are different ways to protect your video on the internet, and we'll try to demystify and explain in detail many different video protection technology and how do they work. Obviously, with each step, we will show how to get that kind of specific video protection through Gumlet, through your dashboard, and we'll answer any questions. So DRM will be part of this. I know that's the most anticipated topic of today that everyone is here for. So bear with me. It might take 5 to 10 minutes for us to reach the DRM part, but as you'll see, that covering other topics, other ways to secure videos is better before we reach DRM. So with that aside, let me start with what does protecting video on internet means. So first of all, everything, not just in computer security, but even in real world, there is no perfect lock. If the lock can be opened with one key, it can be opened with anyone else. So, we all know that the locks on our doors are not foolproof, but that does not mean that we invest in an military grade titanium protection lock technology just to protect our home, even if that might be more secure. Why? Because the amount of security you want to deploy always depends on what's the downside. Is it worth the investment? So there are many other questions to consider while deploying any security measures, whether it is worth it or not. Do I really want to invest this, and what could be some of the downsides of installing, a higher grade lock? For example, if your lock is too secure and too high grade, and you misplace the key, your local locksmith may not be able to help you, and you might be locked out of your house for a longer time. So I mean, the analogies aside, let's get into it. So why first of all we need protecting our video content is because the way browsers work, every one of you work with some or other kind of CMS or code based platform, and every one of us have done the inspect element on a Google Chrome or any other browser that we use. So what we see here is that everything that is displayed on a browser is a public data. The browser receives that data, and anyone can see the data, and that means that whatever information is sent can be copied and redistributed by anyone. Now that creates a problem. Uh, like, for example, if you want to keep something confidential, if you want to keep something, if you want to prevent something from not being copied, we need different security measures, and that's those are the ones we'll discuss here. So one of the first thing is that hot linking, as it's popularly known, where someone can copy a link to your video asset or any digital asset for that matter, and embed that link on their own website as their own content. Now that has especially worse because not only are they stealing your content, uh, they are stealing your CDN bandwidth as well. They are increasing your cost as well. So that's something we want to prevent from the get go. Another one is screen recording. Whenever your content is playing, someone can use the native tools or some of the plugins to screen record the video and share it. And last but not least, downloading. So screen record usually has this limitations of lower quality videos because it's a photocopy of a photocopy, so to say, to draw another analogy. But if they are able to download your content, they can get the high resolution content very easily. So these are the some of the things that we want to prevent with various video security measures. Um, that Yes. So how can we, what are the different kinds of security measures? So we can, to prevent hot linking, we can ensure that uh, our content, video content, can be played only on our business domains. So if there is something, let's say, a webinar recording of this sort, we want to ensure that it's not placed on any other domain. We'll ensure that it only plays on websites which have Gumlet domains. And what we'll do is we'll check the HTTP request, we'll verify it with the list of allowed domains, and any other domain, if the video is embedded, it will not play. We can restrict the access to the logged in users. Or there are ways to discourage screen recording and preventing video download, which would include DRM and maybe dynamic watermarking. All of this will go into step by steps. And lastly, you can also restrict which geographies your videos play in. So if, let's say, you create educational content which is very regional specific. So, for example, if you have educational content around law in United States, or something similar to that, which your users are not going to come out of United States, or maybe a different country. So you can restrict the access to your videos to geographies which are uh, listed, and block it from the rest of the world. That is also very easy way to prevent screen recording. If they can't screen record or download. So we'll go into the actual features and technologies that enable this. Uh, any questions so far in terms of why is it necessary to prevent screen recording, or the nature of how videos can be stolen? Any questions on that? You can pause for a minute before going ahead. Okay. If something does come up, please feel free to ask in chat. I will move forward. So with Gumlet, we start with the basics. If your videos are not available on any search engine, uh, a lot of automatic crawlers will be prevented from downloading your videos. So you might have seen this trend on YouTube and other social media platform where one video is playing and there is some Subway Surfer or some game which is on the bottom half. Those are usually pirated videos. They copied someone else's content, post some other footage which makes it look like original content to this platform, and they'll make money off of someone else's work. Now, to do this at scale, they usually have Google-like search engines and crawler, which go to different website and see their sitemap, find all the video links and download, and then merge it with some other clip and upload to YouTube. So if your videos are not discoverable through search or looking at your sitemap, this kind of content theft can be prevented. So how can you do it? So with every video, now Gumlet offers you a video privacy level. Video privacy level can be public, in which case we will add you to the make you discoverable to search engines. Whenever someone searches the topic of your video will come up in search result, which is very useful for marketing your content. But if the content is not supposed to be marketed, you can make the video unlisted. Now, making the video unlisted would mean that it will not appear any search, and only people with whom you share your links to your videos will be able to get it. Now, how to get it? How to get this? So on a per video basis. So if you want to change the settings for one specific video, you can go to video library, select the video, and change the setting for that specific video and make it unlisted. But you have an option to apply this setting to the entire collection of video. In that case, go to your video library. There is a security tab on the left. Click the security tab, and whatever settings you apply will change here. Let's say you make the video unlisted instead of public. This setting will apply to all the future uploaded videos. Uh, so that way you don't have to go to each and every video to make this happen. Uh, with that, we'll move to the next one, which is an option within the same menu, which is to password protect your video. Now with password protection, you can set a password uh, to, again, one specific video. Here you can set a password to one specific video, or at a collection level, you can set password for all the videos, uh, which will ask for a password before you can play the video. Now this way, you can ensure a second level of protection. So somebody had mentioned on one of the AppSumo questions that I want to upload the videos of my family functions, and I want to only share it with my family members. So in such cases where you trust the audience, it could be the employees within your organizations, your team members, etc. In cases where you trust your audience enough to share a password with them, you can set a password, create a password protected video, and share the password with them independently over email or some sort of chat message, and they can enter the password and have a look at your video. This could be very good for agencies as well that want to share the, let's say, a video for comments with their client, unfinished work. And so in that case, you can password protect it and share it without sort of needing any code. So this is a very easy layer of extra security added without much coding or anything required to be done. Now, as we move forward, things will get more tactical, and soon enough, you will need some coding to implement it. But yeah, let's look at the allowed referrers. So remember the first example that I mentioned about hot linking, where you want to prevent any other website to embed your content. That's what allowed referrers helps you to achieve. So every time a video is played, a request goes from the browser to the server. Now the browser sends this information that on which website is your video being requested to play. Now that goes as a part of the HTTP request to play the video. With allowed referrers, you can you can mark that if the video is from only these domains, then only I want the video to be played. If video is on any other domain, let's say some medium blog where this video is posted, it will not play. Now it sounds pretty neat, but it has its limitation. The HTTP requests can be easily modified. So someone uh, smart enough, who is determined enough that I want this. This is a great content. It can stealing it can make me a few $1,000s. Can use specialized software to fake the HTTP request and play your video. So this is while this is really good and very good surface layer protection, so again, hot linking is always not foolproof. But yeah, hot linking is very easily prevented with allowed referrers. To get it, again, it's on the same security tab on the left side of your collection. Changing any settings here will apply to all of your videos in that collection, new and old. So even the old videos, if you set the settings, they will stop um, playing on any other domain except yours. Okay. Next one is another easy one to do. It's geo-blocking. So as I mentioned, if you want your content to be played in specific countries, another use case could be, let's say you are an OTT player and you have a license to a show only in your specific country, and you are not licensed to distribute this show in any other country. The easiest way to achieve it, again, without any kind of coding, is to set restrictions on which countries can play it. This setting is also available under security. So here you can, block any countries, for example, and just click save. And if our servers detect that someone is trying to play the video in a specified block country, will just not serve the video content. And so if the video content is not served, even if they have access to your website or anything, it won't mean anything. They won't be able to get any actual content inside the video. Next one is signed URL, which is a step up, and it will go into a little bit of features that require coding at your end. So before we get into that, this is a nice halfway point. I will take a pause and look at some questions in the chat. So yeah, Gabrielle mentioned that when she tried to screen record a DRM protected video, they were only able to do a black screen, which is the intention of DRM protected video. I'll share a link in chat. Actually, this is one of our sample. Where you can check on by yourself. I'll do a live demonstration in the call as well. Any kind of instance of screen recording, this video will go black. Yes, the recording of this webinar will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and everyone who joined and registered will get an email with the links to the recording. Fine. I will move on to the next security feature, which is signed URL. Now, what signed URL does is that it works with your authentication system of, let's say your website has an authentication system to see if a user is logged in, if they have purchased the right plan to see this content, etc. So any kind of authentication system that your own website has, signed URL can plug into that and ensure that the video is only playable if the user passes your authentication requirements. And another feature of signed URL is that after you have detected the signed in user, authenticated user, and they get to see this video, they will see the video player code. They can inspect element and see the video player URL. That URL will expire after the set time. So let's say your typical video content is 30 minutes long, and you set a time limit of 45 minutes or 60 minutes. Even the authenticated user will not be able to play the same video from same URL again after the timeout. They will need to refresh the page, or they will need to re-log in and watch the video. So this again prevents any kind of hot linking and also ensures that content passes one more check of your authentication system before it is visible to your end users. So I will, and this, as you can imagine, this requires integration with your authentication system, and almost every website would have different kind of authentication system. So there needs to be some coding that needs to be done. So I will I will show the example. Um, yeah. To enable signed URL, you can go to the security tab again within your video library. This is toggle. Once you toggle it on, you will get a signed URL secret. Now this signed URL secret, you have to enter into the code. So here, this is an example code. This is an example video URL. Uh, the actual code will look like where this video URL is a variable. Uh, Depending on the page and the content, the original video URL is here. And then there is a secret, which we have uh, copied from the desktop. And then there's a timeout variable. And using this simple few lines of code, you can generate a playback URL, which is encrypted with the secret, and that's a playback URL that will actually play. Once you turn on the signed URL on your collection, uh, videos will stop playing normally. So so most of the videos, in case of Gumlet, you can just copy the HLS URL from here and then start playing it. But once you enable the signed URL, that will stop working. Then each and every video will need to be authenticated automatically using the secret here, and then only it will play. This is an implementation that you can do at your end. It's, as I mentioned, uh, it looks scary, but it's just variable and few more variables and only a couple of line of code. And with that, it can be your videos can be made very secure. So that is signed URL for you. Uh, Next is dynamic watermark. I'll just check if there is any questions on signed URL. Okay, I think there's one more question that we can take towards the end. Yes. So dynamic watermark is a feature that helps you discourage people from screen recording your video. Now, again, obviously with DRM, you can prevent screen recording, but with dynamic watermark, you can discourage it. In the sense that if you feel like, DRM is an overkill for your application, you can simply use dynamic watermark and display the username or the email or even IP address of the user on the video at a different interval in different places, so that if they try to record the video and redistribute it, you can at least find the user, block them, or take any action which might help you recuperate the losses, or you can simply block their future access. Even IP address, a simple IP address in dynamic watermark is useful because most website server, even WordPress, would sort of let you know the IP address of every logged in user. So at times, even just having an IP address and not having email or username is good enough. So another thing is that the dynamic watermark is a video player based security feature. That's why you will find it under the video library. So here, so within the video library, you can go to the player settings. In player settings, there is an advanced setting tab. In advanced settings, there's dynamic watermark, which you can turn on. Font size is how big the font is. You can select the color on text. So we have seen some people complaining that dynamic watermarks is very annoying because by default, for the demo purposes, we have kept the color bright red, but you can keep a white or a gray color, which is not as noticeable. You can reduce the font size as well, and you can reduce the frequency as well. So increase the frequency. So right now, every 1 second, the dynamic watermark changes the place, but you can increase it to, let's say, 3 seconds. That will make it significantly less annoying. Now, this dynamic watermark, if you enable it from the player setting security, as you can see, there is no other additional information passed to it. That means the dynamic watermark will only have the IP address. So for example, here bad example, but yeah, here you can see the IP address floating around. this is a DRM protected video, so I'm not sure if you are able to see the thumbnail or not. After I play the video, you will definitely won't be able to see, but you can see the IP address, I'm sure, that is floating around. So that's what the dynamic watermark would look like without any additions. However, we have made it easier for you to add more personally identifiable information. So we have a WordPress plugin, and with the WordPress plugin, you can enable the dynamic watermark from the dashboard as I just showed, and then install the WordPress plugin. And in WordPress plugin, you can mark which of this information you want to display. Now, this information will pick up from your WordPress database. If the users are logged in, we'll identify one of this information. And instead of IP address, we'll display the name and email of the user. So if they try to record it, they will see that their personally identifiable information is on the video. The information is always changing, so it's not easy to edit out. And they might just decide not to publish it anyway. So yeah, that's the okay. Yeah, that's the WordPress plugin. If you don't have WordPress and if you're using this on some other platform, of course we have other way. So in embed code and the iframe source, whenever you are embedding a Gumlet video in the iframe source, you can pass this parameter of question mark watermark text and then some data as it's shown here. And instead of IP address again, this data will appear based on the frequency that you have set on the player settings here. This frequency and all will always be governed by it regardless of what information is displayed. So yes, this is dynamic watermark. I will pause again to see if there is any questions around the dynamic watermark. Yes, I think there are questions. Give me a second, I'll read them out and answer them. Okay, so Gabriel's question number 2 is around using a different player uh, while retaining the watermark and dynamic watermark and DRM settings. So Gabriel, the dynamic watermark, as I mentioned, is a player side setting. It has nothing to do with video URL. So if you're using a third-party player and if you want to have dynamic watermark, you will have to ask or configure that player to display the dynamic watermark, as uh, Gumlet's HLS URL or video URL itself does not contain any dynamic watermark. The second part is DRM. Again, I'll cover the DRM part later, but yes, Gumlet DRM videos can be played with any other player. But fundamentally, to play a DRM protected video with any player, you need to do a lot of code, which we'll cover. I'll show some example of it. Um, but that's sort of a trade-off. If you use Gumlet Video Player, we have taken care of some of the front end code, almost all of the front end code required to play DRM protected video. So with Gumlet Player, you will be easily able to play them. But however, you can use a third party player with Gumlet DRM video, but you will need to do additional code. I hope that covers the answer that you're looking for. Feel free to comment further if I need to cover anything else. Okay, so currently we don't have. So the question is if we can change the opacity of dynamic watermark, and if you don't want to disturb the audience. So currently we don't have functionality to change the opacity, but you can change the color. So you can make the color something very muted, so that it doesn't disturb further. And then this color, and I think the background, we are working on a transparent background here, but you can make the background also very uh, less annoying. So your videos best if you see that the videos have a typical, let's say, light blue black background, where which is a typical background when you are recording video, or some other background. You can make sure your dynamic watermark matches that color, and that way it would be less annoying. We are working on providing a transparent background for dynamic watermark. But as of now, there's no. I don't even think it's technically possible to have opacity built into the font. I think we can change the font color, but opacity might not be one of the things that's easy to control. So yeah, that's on dynamic watermark. Okay. In interest of time, I'll move right along to the main topic of DRM. So if you so far, as you saw, there are many ways to make uh, stealing your videos difficult. But at the end, using some of the browser plugin, it is still possible with having all of these additional features on top to be able to steal your videos. Um, so that's where the DRM comes in. So DRM is the highest grade of protection anyone can get to protect their videos. I mean, this is there is no other technology over and above DRM that is widely available, which for video protection. So DRM is really the highest level. What it can do is it can prevent unauthorized access. It can prevent privacy, and it can help you really control how to access your how to prevent access to your video. And one other thing is that we live in an era where giant corporations are just blatantly copying video content, just scraping it from YouTube, from private websites to train their own AI model. um, and DRM is one such thing. In addition to, maybe, let's say, unlisting the video and etc., that can help prevent your video from ending up in one of the AI training data sets. So let's just briefly cover how DRM works. So as I mentioned at the start, right, everything you put on the internet goes through browser, and in browser is publicly available. So that's a problem that DRM is trying to solve, because um, we had to have some way to protect serve protected content, and that's where they to prevent make this happen. It's not possible at a software level. So and in within the browser it was not possible. So the companies who wanted to serve secure content, maybe Hollywood studios and etc., Netflix of the world, uh, uh, they went and worked with the device manufacturer, and they were able to come up with this solution, where in modern day every device has a special chip on the motherboard, which is a secure area, a secure chip. Now the secure chip uh, of your computer uh, has a special access. It can only be accessed through operating system, and it can be only accessed through a specific encryption keys. So if you have this key, if any software has this key, they can access the resources and information inside the secure chip, and otherwise they can't. So what DRM really does is that DRM. That's why you need a license from an Apple and license from Google, because Google and Apple control almost all of the devices in the world we live in. Even Microsoft now has stopped with their own DRM and is now relying on Google's Widevine DRM. So when I say Google controls everything, Google includes Microsoft devices. Um, so yeah, almost all of the devices are controlled by these two organizations. And what they do is they control this special access key to the secure hardware or the secure software through the operating system. And they allow um, authorized vendors like Gumlet to help uh, secure customers like yourself with the DRM protection. So now how it would work is, whenever you upload a content to Gumlet, Gumlet will use a specific license key that Google and Apple has decided to issue to you as a uh, content vendor. So this is where needing an Apple developer license come into the picture, because there are two set of keys. So one set of keys in device and other set of keys there to encrypt your video. And this license, the encryption license, is issued to per content producer. It's not issued to Gumlet. The Apple license is issued to you as a content creator, because it's there to protect your content. So yeah, Google and Apple will issue you certificates, and that certificate will be used by Gumlet, and the certificate issued by uh, Google and Apple to encrypt your content. Now, this encrypted content is protected when it is stored on Gumlet server. So let's say, despite our best effort, there is some hack on Gumlet system, and they copy all of the video that Gumlet has stored. Uh, DRM protected videos, they would not be able to uh, play on their end. So it's even protected in the storage. And when someone tries to play a DRM protected video, um, before the video can be played, the device has to ask Gumlet for a key to decrypt the video that we use to encrypt the video. So Gumlet will send a key to decrypt the video, and then that decrypted video will be processed through the secure chip on the device instead of the normal resources. That way, any kind of screen grab software will not be able to have access to the information, and it will be prevented from seeing the video content. Now, enough with the theory. I will give a practical uh, demonstration of this. So let's say this is a video. Now this video you are able to see playing through my screen share, because this video is being decoded and displayed through the normal chip. So access to information within this video is there with Zoom via the screen share, and that's why you are able to see this video. Now, instead of this, this is a DRM protected video. Just give me a second. Yeah, this is a DRM protected video, and hopefully when I play this, you will, yeah, as you see, you can only see the sound, and there is a black screen. Why? Because this video is getting processed through uh, the secure chip, and that's why the Zoom's screen recording features do not have access to this information. Similarly, I'll switch to Safari, and this video is loaded up in Safari. And again, on Safari, when the video plays, you will see a black screen, and you'll not be able to see the actual content of the video. If I I'd stop with the screen share, I'll be able to see it. As of now, even I can't see the video. And that's what crux of this diagram is, that there is a secure chip which has a key which is controlled by Google and Apple. Both this example, Chrome browser is controlled by Google, and in Safari is controlled by Apple. And other softwares don't have access to your video when it is DRM protected. Yeah, so that's how DRM works. I guess we have covered it pretty extensively. What it can do, it can prevent video download and screen recording. So in this case, if someone tries to download this data, so example, someone does inspect element, and as the video plays, they try to collect all of this stream of data that is coming, and they try to recreate the video from this data transfer. Their plugin will, if they are using some sort of Chrome plugin or something like that, it will show that the video is downloaded, but actually the downloaded video, if you try to play, it will again be a black screen, because the download plugin does not have access to access to the information within video. So that's what it does. And I'll just check for a question. I think there seems to be some question. Yeah, okay, it's related to dynamic watermark. We'll cover it next. But yeah, so that's how DRM works. How to get the DRM. Now, this is where it gets tricky. So as I mentioned, DRM is really like, military grade titanium lock of sorts. So it's hard. It's hard to implement DRM. But at Gumlet, we try to make it as easy as possible for you. So let me first show the hard way, how the DRM is implemented, and then we'll show how Gumlet has made it a bit easier. So if you were to actually implement, wideband integration, you will need to fill up a Google form. You will need to get a wideband credential. You will share that wideband credential with Gumlet. We'll configure it for your DRM content, and then you will need to implement this code to create an authentication token every time your video is requested. And and when the video is playing, for example, let's say you are using Shaka Player in your Android app, you will need to license get a license server URL and decrypt it and play the video. So this is a sort of sample code. This is what the URL will look like, and it will change every time. So yeah, this is how implementing DRM would look like with wideband. So every 30 seconds, the tokens change and rotate. So the person needs to be always online to get a new token to continue playing the video. Similarly, for fair play, uh, you will need to configure token authentication. And on the player side, you will need to have additional JavaScript in terms of license URL and configure that license URL with the player. So another bunch of code to be able to implement on a browser level or on a mobile app how the fair play video will work. So this is what it really takes to implement DRM. Now, we understand that not all of our users have this kind of tech budget really to implement something like this. So that's why with Gumlet, we have done some changes and made it a bit easy for you to implement. So with Gumlet, let me show you. Yeah, you can enable DRM from here. Now here it will ask you, why this specific ask. So this setting is there uh, to test DRM video. So I would recommend that you create a new collection if you want to see whether DRM video is really thing for you, uh, or not, something like that. You can create a new collection and click this enable DRM, and I'll walk you through what all of this warnings mean. First is that all the new videos that you upload to Gumlet after enabling DRM, we will not have the original videos for you that we can give it back to you automatically. Because as I showed, as soon as the video is uploaded to Gumlet, we need to encrypt it to abide by the DRM standard. So we'll have even Gumlet will have the encrypted video. So the original video you will need to keep in backup somewhere else. That's what the first thing means. Second thing, what it means is that, as I mentioned, Apple specifically forbids um, using someone else's DRM credential of customer one on a video of DRM credentials of customer number two. So by default, when you click this button, unless you have gone through this process of attaining the fair play DRM credentials, um, yeah, this DRM credentials, if you have not received and shared with Gumlet, if you have not done this process, your account does not have fair play credential. So your videos will only be encrypted with wideband DRM, which allows this kind of testing. And then that means that on Safari browser and iOS devices, your videos will not play until you create uh, the developer account and get a fair play credential and share it with. Once you do that, your app videos will play on iOS as well. And the last but not least, the DRM videos will not be playable in old devices. Now, this you might have uh, experienced with other websites like Netflix as well, where a DRM protected video is not really supported in old device. Why? Because remember, it goes back to every lock that has one key can be broken into. So even Apple and Google with their key uh, on a hardware level, device secure chip, etc. Over the time, after every few years, they need to change that lock. They need to generate new security certificate, new keys. So if the device is really old, it has an older version of DRM, it has an older version of secure chip, it has an older version of certificates. So it the newly encrypted DRM videos will not play on it. So at times this becomes a problem with some of the clients because their students, especially in certain parts of geography where uh, people don't upgrade their mobile devices as often in certain kind of demographics. They might have older Android devices or they might have older version of iPhones, which will not play the video once you encrypt your DRM, and then you won't be able to serve those customers. So those are the considerations while enabling DRM. But let's say you go through all of that. Share
Divesh,
credit, yeah.
there's a question about DRM videos working on Firefox and other search browsers. I think before you move
Uh,
forward, you can cover that also.
I think Yash would be better place to answer that question.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yes.
can answer in chat. I
Uh,
will continue.
yeah, so I'm answering on chat only. We can
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, fine. So yeah, I mean, Yash is our video expert. He can really get into the details. So please ask all the questions. But I guess if I'm not wrong, broadly, Firefox should be able to play DRM videos. So yeah, moving along. So if you enable DRM protected videos from here, and there is a player setting which says uh, enable DRM protected video. Yeah, enable DRM protected video. With just these two settings turned on, you will be able to DRM protect your videos with Gumlet without going through any of this additional code. And that's the link that we have shared with you in the chat. So wherever uh, you feel like this video is working, this video is up to your mark, with Gumlet, if you get your own credential with just these two clicks in processing settings and player settings, you can get DRM protected videos. And believe me when I say this is the easiest way to get DRM protected videos uh, right now. In terms of tech cost and ease of access, there's really nothing better. There's no other better way to get it. So yeah, that's what DRM is, how it works, and how you can get it with Gumlet. If you have the technical expertise, I would recommend you to go through this implementations. But if that's not possible, with just two checkbox and getting the fair play and wide licenses for yourself, which doesn't require any code, you just need to apply and fill up some forms. um, you can and share the credentials with Gumlet. After that process, you can get DRM protection for your video, which will prevent screen recording and download of your videos in most cases. Even if some plugin is able to download the video, that video is more often than uh, not playable. And so that's why uh, that's where the sort of end of the rope comes for DRM. So let's say someone plays a DRM video on a device which is completely authenticated and playable, and puts a mobile camera or something like that. There is no way to prevent something like that in the world, right? You can one of your students can play your lecture on their laptop and record it with their mobile. There's nothing you can do. And yeah, so there are ways to break DRM. Obviously, DRM is not foolproof, uh, but the point is that it gets very, very difficult. You need to have a very specialized software. You need to know the exact kind of versions and chips that can fool the operating systems of Google and Apple to let them have access to your video content, etc., etc. And what other things DRM can't do is, allow your videos to be played on all devices. Because, for example, if let's say a device is found to be compromised, I think Redmi Note 9A is a mobile, or recently, I guess, old Windows 7, some of the old Windows 7 laptops or Windows 8 laptops were found to be compromised on a DRM level. So now, to protect the integrity of DRM for the rest of the videos, you'll have to stop playing your content on those videos. So yeah, DRM is very good, but it still has some weaknesses. So yeah, that's where DRM at Gumlet, you can have additional layer of security. That's why we covered them earlier, to ensure DRM is not the only thing protecting your videos. So if your videos are geo-blocked, there's some security, because a lot of vectors who are trying to steal your content might not be able to access if you have used geo-blocking correctly. With allowed referrer, that access can be predicted. With dynamic watermark, this kind of screen recording with a third device, your laptop and mobile, that can be discouraged if you display the name of the logged in user on the video. So those are the additional layer of security which you should always consider first before jumping on DRM. And even after implementing DRM, you can add these additional layers to protect your videos further. So here are a few of the sort of enterprise customers of Gumlet who use Gumlet for DRM. They obviously go through uh, this kind of highly secure implementation. So please understand that we have to, when we make it easier to implement DRM, there might be some compromises made here in this kind of, instead of this highly secure code. So that's why I would recommend, if you can go through the highly secure code, go through it. But if that's not possible, DRM is still a very good uh, sort of backstop to prevent your content from being stolen. So yeah, that's the end of the presentation. We'll go back to the chat questions and answer as many of them as we can. So yeah, we are officially into Q&A. So please ask any questions that you might have about securing your video content or anything else. So Gabriel's question number 4, yes. If you are using Gumlet's dynamic watermark, you can embed Gumlet video anywhere on any LMS system, and it would still work. It would still display the IP address of the viewer on the video. So As long as you are using the Gumlet embed code, it doesn't matter what platform your videos are displayed on. Yes. So yeah, as I last covered, if someone is using a third camera to protect screen record your content, dynamic watermarking is the best way, because all of the screen recording will not be high resolution in first place, and within that content there will always be their IP address or username, etc., displaying at a different intervals, uh, uh, which should discourage them from, even if they screen record your content, sharing it outside. Okay. Any further questions from anyone on any of the different ways to protect your videos? We are here. We'll wait for a few minutes. Having said that, the main part of the webinar around protecting video and all the features of Gumlet that allow you to do that is over. So feel free to drop off if we have covered everything you wanted to see, and feel free to hang out and ask any other questions. We'll wait for a few more minutes before closing the webinar. Yeah, thanks all for attending.
Hello. Because I have a problem with my unmute. Can you wait a minute so I can close and come back again?
Sure, we'll wait for a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yes, thanks Nisha for a reminder. So additional thing that we have done is the very reason we wanted to launch a channel membership feature is to be able to provide you all of these video security features without needing any code deployment at your end. And that's why with Gumlet video channels, we have launch channel membership where only authenticated users will be able to access your videos. And it's super easy to implement DRM. It's super easy to implement dynamic watermark, which displays their email ID, etc., etc. So that's our latest feature, which is in our AppSumo Tier 6. And more about that is in our next webinar.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, please.
Yeah, so just well, I'm new to you guys that had Tier 6. So for us to be able to use the DRM function, we need to get the Fair Play license, and then
Yes.
okay, for it to be able, so mostly because if you enable the DRM now, you don't have those license. Those videos we're not going to be able to play on the Apple devices, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So you need license for both Widevine and Fairplay. It's just that Widevine license is free, and Fairplay license, Apple has a charge for the annual Apple developer account. So Apple license itself is free, but Apple developer account has an annual subscription.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So yeah, you need absolutely both of the DRM licenses, and you need to give it to our team over the support channel. The procedure is mentioned in the documentation, and once you give us those credentials, we can set it up in your account, and you are good to go. Right now, as I mentioned, you have testing Widevine credentials in your account, so you can do some tests if you want. But I would recommend that you create a different collections just for the test purpose, or only few videos, because they'll be only protected on the Google, wherever Google Widevine is playable.
Okay. So so when you have those things and you have those things implemented, any video that you actually upload is gonna be DRM protected, right?
Only video within the collections where you have enabled the DRM. So
DRM.
yeah, I mean, if you have multiple collection, if you upload it to a different collection which doesn't have DRM enabled, it will not get encrypted. Only the collection which has the DRM enabled, it will get encrypted.
So these lines, because I have a developer account with Apple, do I need to? Do I have to apply for another one, or do I use my developer account to do all this?
Yeah, you can use a existing developer account. You just need to have a developer account. There's no need for a separate account for Apple.
Oh, okay. All right. And then which one did you say on for the Google? Which one is for the Google?
Google is Google Widevine. So for that, you just need to fill up a Google form. I don't know if there's any account needed. So yeah, there's a Google form that you need to fill up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So this for this apply for when you does it apply for the like Android phones or Chrome? Is that
Yeah, everywhere. So all the Microsoft devices, so even Microsoft Edge, etc. All of those will have Google Widevine and
okay,
Chrome.
right, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that covers. Okay, so they're all using the same. It's only Apple that is different from the other license. Okay, gotcha now.
Yeah. There's no one DRM which is supported by all devices. So as of now, like Widevine is supported Microsoft and Google, and Apple supports Fairplay.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Thank you. I do hacks these all the time when we come on, like, because I just joined you guys last last week when you guys first launched on AppSumo. So I have the 60th. So when you guys gonna be doing anything on the live streaming part of it?
So yeah, live. So as you mean the DRM in live stream?
No. Just the live stream on the
Oh
features
yeah,
that
there is a webinar upcoming from live stream. I think later this week, maybe around Thursday or Friday, we will do a webinar around live stream.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Thank you for joining. Okay, Vaibhav or Nisha, you can let me know if there is any question in chat that I could address over screen.
Yeah. So I think I'll start with the basic one. How much does it cost to have DRM protection? So specifically for AppSumo users, and I'm guessing the additional fair play.
Yeah. So within AppSumo, tier 5 and tier 6 has DRM. So as you can see, tier 5 has unlimited DRM, and tier 6 has unlimited DRM. So once you buy tier 5 or tier 6, you get DRM protection from Gumlet. So beyond that, you don't need to pay Gumlet anything else to protect your DRM videos. But as I mentioned, for Widevine, the DRM credentials are free. You just need to fill up this Google form. And for Fairplay, Apple needs you to create a Apple developer account, which has a yearly subscription fee. Again, the Fairplay DRM license itself is free. So yeah, to summarize, tier 5 plus yearly Apple developer account license fees, that's the total cost of that's going to be on DRM. Okay, so there's this question that Adilo doesn't ask for these features. So the reason is that there are different ways to sort of not implement DRM correctly. So as I mentioned, like service provider, authorized service provider like Gumlet can has the onus on implementing the DRM correctly. Now, as per the official uh, license term and as per the official recommendations by Apple and Google, we are supposed to use different keys for different customers when implementing DRM. Why is this essential? Because let's say one customer's DRM key is compromised in some way, that information is stolen, their DRM is broken. Now, that should not uh, make it easy for whoever is trying to steal the content of all the rest of the customers. And that's why you in a correct way to implement DRM is to implement it differently for each customer. And Adilo might have done that for maybe getting more customers easily, but at Gumlet we want to do it the right way. And you can check the documentation of Fair Play and Widevine official documentation by them. They would recommend the same, that each customer needs to have a different DRM license. And so we are just sticking by the proper way of doing it. However, any other questions?
Yeah, there's one around. We need to have videos in different collections, one open and one with DRM. So I think you can just explain about how DRM works on a collection level.
Yeah, sure. So, in Gumlet, collections are different workspaces. You can, create a new collections and switch between the collections. So, it's totally up to you. You can have all of your videos in one collection, which is DRM protected. There's no problem with that. This what I mentioned about creating a different collection was for test purposes. And once you have a DRM implemented on one collection, you can upload all of the new videos in that. Now, a use case where you might want to have two different collections, one with DRM, one without DRM, is, for example, let's say you run a course website and you want to DRM protect your course content, but there are snippets, or let's say first episode of the 12 episode course series is free, and you want people to be able to access it freely for marketing purposes. So those marketing content can go into the non-DRM collection, and whatever content you want to protect can go into DRM collection. We don't, just to be clear, the content you want to protect should only be in DRM collection, and it should not be uploaded to any other collection. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any other question?
No other question in the chat.
Okay. Okay. Thanks everyone. I hope I was able to cover various aspects of video security, and you got a sense of what are the best way to protect your video, what's the right level of security for you, and we have confidence on how you could get that on Gumlet. So with that, have a good day ahead. The recording will be sent over to you with an email, and thank you for joining in and thank you for supporting Gumlet. Have a good day ahead. Good night. Bye bye.